right, look. They don't understand. They're not understanding your life. Okay, they're not understanding what you're going through. They're not understanding your life. You cannot tell people what they're not going to understand. Some people are not going to understand your life and what you're actually going through. They're just not going to understand. Okay, they're not going to understand why God chose you. Okay, they're not going to understand why you were chosen out of other people in your family. Okay, they're not going to understand that, and they're going to constantly fight you for it. Why? Because they cannot understand it. Okay, so they're going to constantly fight you for it. That's why I had to realize early. Okay, I had to realize early that the things, okay, that I was going through and I was experiencing, many people were going to be jealous of. Okay, I had to realize that a lot of things that I was going to go through and I was going to have, many were going to be envious and many was going to want what I had. Okay, I had to understand that. But see, it's very important to understand when people are upset. Okay, when people want your life, when people are upset, when people do not understand why God is blessing you, it's very important to have mercy on these people, because they're not going to understand. They're not going to understand why God is blessing you and why God is not blessing them. And see, it's not that God is not blessing them. That's the thing. It's not that God is not blessing them. It's that they're not understanding or they're not realizing God's blessing in their life. Okay? Very, very important. They're not realizing God's blessing in their life. And this is why they look at you, and this is why they do not understand what God is particularly doing in your life. Okay? Very, very important. Excuse me. Trying to tell you. They're not going to understand. Okay? And it's very important for you to really forgive people who don't understand your walk, who don't understand your journey. People will envy your journey. I don't understand. People will envy a person's journey and they will fear to walk on the journey on their own. You understand what I'm saying? That's why it's very, very important to understand what God is doing with you. You understand what I'm saying? Very, very important to understand what God is doing with you and yourself and your journey.